Hello guys, it's me Ariel from Let's Up the World, and today's episode of the Heat of Creativity, it's something that I'm thinking of, and it's really out of the box. I've actually looked at YouTube. YouTube is the best place for this, okay? To get inspiration, even without thinking of doing any art, you just have an inspiration, and you're like, okay, let's freaking do it. Well, that was completely me with this project, and this one is completely out of the box because we're doing it on this piece of brown paper, and this is from a box wrapper. You know those kind of wrapper you actually place around the box for a Christmas gift. That kind of paper to actually hold all the fabric in place. This is where it comes from. And yeah, this is completely out of this type of paper. It's really out of the box because the ones we did so far, it's on a canvas, well, two canvases, or on paper for doing art. But this one it wasn't really for art, it was for holding a Christmas fabric. But now I'm going it a second purpose to that paper, and it's art, which is amazing. You can make art out of anything. I've seen people actually doing art out of shoes, and it's really good. So really, you can make art out of anything. And today's video, we're going to make art of this paper. Now, where this idea came from is from Mixed Media, and I actually saw a video on YouTube where was a woman who actually explored technically everything about mixed media. And mixed media, if you want to know, it's technically you make art out of anything. You make anything. You don't care about the rules. You just create what you want to create. That's all. That's all what it is, mixed media, in a couple of words, to actually make it shorter. So now, as you can see, just a brown paper, and that's because I'm thinking about what I'm going to add on that paper, and that's going to be the next clip. Is I'm going to show you what I'm going to add, because with this, with my three of us, I had a plan. With the two canvases, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a whole galaxy background. I'm gonna add a tree. I'm gonna make the grass black, the tree black, the color of the leaves were all different. What I did there is technically mixed media, but with a plan. And the rocks pattern too, it was that. For the pink, it was kind of mixed of a plan and unplanned at the same time. But for the rocks, the rainbow rocks, it was thinking, alright? But for this, it is really out of plan. I'm technically saying that I'm technically going to put nonsense details. I'm going to put anything I have in mind on this, alright? So next clip will be to think about what I'm going to do. Okay, so the first things I actually thought of, the big amount of paper that I have there, a good thing to actually empty my markers in that bag. My school pencil case for the scissors and the glue. So on the next clip, I'm going to kind of show a little bit of the elements what I'm going to put on this. So these are the colors of papers that I'm going to use on this for now. So in the next clip, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these, because I'm going to tear off those papers. But I'm not going to show them because I can't hold the camera while tearing up other paper at the same time. And it's technically easy, so we're gonna skip that step. Oh, hey there. So this is very pretty much in the future, because Yeah. During the same day that I actually did show you the free color papers I'm gonna use, I actually decided to put them all on there without telling you guys. So these are not cut, were more tear up, and it's a part of the process. What I actually wanted to do was doing the whole background with those colors and leaving a lot of brown like that. Not too much, but a lot. Actually wanted to do that and train up all the paper colors that I actually choose, and then place them all on the brown paper. So what I did just right after is to actually put a lot of patterns on there. Actually did actually learned some random patterns I actually thought of in my mind, like with those pearls, those stars, those dots, those little flowers you guys actually see, those those attempted roses. This is what I did behind the scenes, behind the camera. I actually didn't want to show because it will be too long to explain, and also those are simple drawings you can do yourself. So I told myself, hey, let's not show that because it's not something that everyone could do. So train up some papers and glue them all on that, and doing some little bit of patterns like that. Anyone can do that, so that's why I didn't show it. So next up, I'm going to show you a little bit of things in my stash that I could actually use on this project. First of all, we have this empty rose making with all of those sheets that I actually had. The last thing I need to do on that is to actually paint it red and leave it a little bit of shadows and a little bit of nuances to make it look like a pretty good rose. As you can see, it's very big. What I'm thinking of is to actually put it on the top to actually hide a little bit those imperfections on the top, and then doing a little bit of collage on the downside over here. And with the background looking this way, it's gonna be easy to doing them. So the fact that there's not a lot of red, I can actually put something red on top and then put in a little more red to the bottom too. So it's kind of a project this way. I actually haven't thought of doing that, but this is actually done in one of my classes during the end of the year. I actually decided to make a rose during classes. So the last thing I need to do is to paint it red, doing a little bit of shadows, nuances, and make it look that way. Also, something else too. Behold this thing. So, at first it was on a white sheet that I actually saw. Little story time. There was someone in my school who actually wanted to throw out this little project that we did in the trash. When I actually saw that person doing it, I was like, nah, this is too beautiful to be thrown out. So I decided to ask that person if I could take it. Also, it's someone I didn't know. So we were like, oh yes, they actually gave it to me. And now I have this. Also, this was on a white background for actually. And I actually decided to cut it. So you can see, this is a piece that I actually cut it. You actually see all the details. I really found it beautiful. And in my mind, I was like, oh, this could be a potential thing to put in a project. Well, here's the potential project that I'm going to put it on it. And it's pretty good. You can actually put it that way. You know, I'm going to think of where I'm actually going to put it. And it's going to be something very cool to put. So, it's kind of mixing up. I actually do what I want to do on this project. It's not an actual plan. I actually see some stuff that I want to put on there, and I put it on there. So, including this thing. This was a random thing done by someone else. It's not done by me, but I'm going to put it on my project to make it look beautiful. You have a second life chance with this thing. This is what I wanted to actually say on this part. So now let's get into explaining what to do next. Okay, so I have those beads on there, and what I'm going to try to do is to actually put them a little bit around in this project because I have some left, And I think there could be potential things to add into this thing. So yeah, sorry about that. I had to place the camera so I could show you in a better way how I'm going to put that. Sorry for the camera angle. Anyways, I'm going to peel out this. I'm going to try something. I may put them like, you know, on there just like that. A little bit on the edge. Awesome. Potential use for that. Let me pull it out again. Sorry if you don't see what I'm doing here, but you see my hand. It's actually hard to place them straight. But perfection is not where we're gonna go with this one. This is cool. I may not be able to do all around, but if I'm able to place them on a certain part of this thing, it will be a bonus. Okay, so next up, at least do this part. At least. And they're pretty long, so I think it's going to be okay. Well, at least a good part of this. You see? You see those beads? They're looking cool. We kind of make it look glammy. And I really like it. Okay. It's kind of hard a little bit, as you can see, to actually put them on. I have to place them. As you can see, it's hard to put them straight like that, but if you have good patience, it's going to be okay. Also, even if it isn't straight, it makes it look beautiful. It's a nice touch. It may not be all around, but at least it's a nice touch. I don't look for perfection at all on this project, just to get off my mind of things. So by the way, I'm currently working on some Halloween projects by right now. So yeah, currently working on some Halloween projects because I need to prepare them in advance to not sorry, let me move the camera a little bit. I need to prepare my Halloween decorations because if you know me from a long time, I actually go to school, so in September I won't have any time to do a lot of big Halloween projects, so I have to do them in the summer, which I don't mind because Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. Well, it's my number one favorite holiday, so I'm giving all my love to that season. Once it finishes, I'm like, because Christmas is just right after this holiday. I love Christmas too, but Halloween is much more my favorite. I have a lot more ideas when it's Halloween. My little creative mind is on mode. Is on when I do that. So you can see now what I'm meaning by that. You see all those beads? Really make it look cool. I'll try to finish the row on there as well. So let me just pin it. I think spinning it is actually helping me out. I'm more of a horizontal person than a vertical, so this helps. Nice. Finally putting a good use to those beads. I actually have using them for Christmas decorations, but because they make pretty good Christmas decoration things. But if you can use them for something else, it's in the option. So those were in the normal section of Walmart, by the way. which is why I'm saying that you can do other things with this. And that other thing is exactly what I'm doing right now. You can actually put them on various of projects. So these big canvas. And you're gonna be careful with those beads because as you can see, there's one that actually took off. Decided to go wee. If your doing isn't perfect, it's actually a good part of this project. Makes it look good glammy. I really like it. I haven't thought of doing that before, but it makes the project look great. So this is something that anyone could do too, but I'm just showing off what I'm doing with those live. Just like that. The good use of these little beads. Also, I think it's the first time you guys actually see a camera angle this way. Also, this is my phone, by the way. It's not actually a camera, but you know, the camera mode of a phone. I'm working with the things I have, as you can see. And this is a project that is exactly with this mindset. I work with what I have. So I have other types of beads in a little pencil case that I actually have that I may or may not put them on this. I don't know yet. But if I do it though, it will be very good because it's actually something from an old diamond painting. I actually haven't used them, but if I can use them in another purpose, that will be actually good too. Also, I actually discovered very fast I'm not a diamond painting fan. I'm more of a create projects fan than actually coloring a project. I'm more of creating my own type of gal. So, here we go. I haven't used them all, but let's use them. Let's see if I can complete this whole thing. Let's see. It's not a whole promise, but let's see. If I can do this whole, all around this, with a little bead frame, I'm gonna be very happy in my soul heart. I'm gonna try something. If I can't actually put them all, I'll try to do something to make it work. And also creativity is also finding ways to cheat a little bit. Cheating a little bit on this thing. I'm trying different things. And even if this frame, you know, this part isn't framed, if there's going to be something up there that's going to hide the beads, then I'm not going to do it. Okay? Which I'm thinking of doing something up there, so that's why I'm not actually worrying if I don't have enough beads for that part. Actually, 4 rows of beads actually work on that side. So let's see about the other side now. Also, those beads really make it look cool. Also, why I'm doing this now is because if I add some paint into this, then at least the beads will be added. And it's kind of be like a stopping point on the paint too, because I'm kind of a messy painter. I'm half messy painter and perfected painter. I'm half of these, so I gotta make it work. So if I empty this whole bead thing, it's going to be very good for me. Because then I'll be in my mind and finally put a good use into my stuff. So yes, it is on purpose that I'm making this episode maybe a little bit longer. Because I'm kind of thinking of doing this as more as a fun Friday idea. Do you know? Doing this whole thing. Well, the thing though is that it's going to be a lot of editing. But don't worry guys. This video may be at the very end of July. I'm kind of thinking of doing it at the very end of July. Posting this video. You see that it's not perfect, but I'm not worrying about it because it actually looks very beautiful. That's what this way. I'm loving it. I don't know, it just adds a little touch into this one. It kind of makes it look very pretty much like a whole project. So I'm happy with these beads, and now I'm going to move to a different part. Alright, so for the next part, I actually thought about my very old painting projects. Well, no, forget about that. I actually went into the art bin because with my art projects blogs, I don't know if one episode actually came out before. I don't know if you guys watch my art projects blogs, but if you know, I have an art bin, and I haven't shown those projects yet. Because I'm doing just 3 episodes and I haven't showed them. And I think it's a good thing because I'm going to put them into this. This is the same material as this one. It's the same. So I'm kind of thinking, all those paintings are mine, by the way. This isn't mine. I'm going to put these on this project. Kind of make them like a photo collage project, but instead of photos, there are mini projects. 1 not done by me, and 4 done by me. 1 that's not finished yet, which I may or may not show in this video what I'm going to do with that rose, because I don't know if it's going to be too long for the Fun Friday. But anyways, this is a project that I actually haven't done. But those 3 are done by me, and they're all done years back. I think it was in 2021 or 2022. I don't remember. But I'm going to put them. So this was supposed to look like leaves, but it's more like an abstract kind of thing. And I think, wait a minute. If I put this on top of that, will it make it look like a potential background idea? What do you guys think? Or if I trying to play some things, potential art idea, just placing the camera, placing this on the center part of this project. My idea, putting the rose on top. Idea is done, it will be on top. But I may do a little background like this. So after the rose, then I'm putting those projects in a diagonal pose like that. This may work. It's going to come out of the thing, but I actually don't care. And this, like that. I actually don't see. Or if I place them this way, I'm actually placing them on the middle. The abstract ones in the middle, like that. This may work. It's just that it's going to be on the sides. If I place the rose more on the top, just like that, might have more space. I'll put this first, a little bit like that. I'll glue that first. Then glue this rose on top. Then glue this thing just under. Maybe the second thing I'll glue. Just under this thing, just like that. Just on top. And then the over projects, just like that, or like that, because those 2 are abstract drawings, so it doesn't really matter it doesn't really matter if we don't see it much because we're abstract. But if we don't see the other parts, just like these ones, it's going to be very, very worse because this is a city. We need to see the city on this, and we need to see the mountains with the trees on this. So I may do something like that in the background that it shows. I think it's going to be a pretty cool photo collage idea, but I'll need to finish doing these rows. So it may be for a fact, I'm actually going to glue all of these first, and then at the end I'll do the rows. And when will be dry, I'll find other ideas to put on this, or maybe the end, because I don't want this thing to be too much. And you see, it kind of hides off pretty much all the background, but I don't mind it because it's a background. It's something that I did. Even if it doesn't show all the background, doesn't matter. You actually see the beads, and I actually want you to actually see the beads. So if I'm doing it this way, it will work, and it's going to look very impressive with all the past projects, and this one not being mine, but putting a good use to that one. I may at the end do probably plants, because I have an idea of actually doing plants on this thing. I'm doing a little bit of plants on the sides. Kind of do like a wall decor idea. Anyways, now that I found the idea, the purpose of all of those things, let's glue the 4 things that I actually showed you. Not the rows first, but all of these. Let's do it. Alright, so now it's time that I show you guys what I'm going to do next. So as you can see, I tried to glue this thing up. This, by the way, the thing that I actually see where my finger is one of my projects that I did back in art school. Not art school, but you know, one of my art classes back when I started high school. And what I'm trying to glue now is one of the projects that someone else did that actually decided to give me. It's not someone that I know particularly, but I actually saw the project and that we're about to throw it out. I decided to take it because I saw it as a potential thing to actually put on a project, and I see its potential on this project and giving it a second life to this beautiful thing. By the way, at the end of this craft video, I'm going to give you guys a close-up look at what I'm doing. Also, I may need to put tape on the back of this one, because you see it's kind of glued off. So I might put some tape on the back. There's no shame in tape. Anyways, I'm going to glue up this thing. This is also a project of mine back in high school when I started it, and it's one of my projects. Very proud of this one. It's a mountain with trees, with a beautiful sky. You know, I'm giving it a second life too. Finally put a use onto these projects. You know, this one may look as a photo collage project, but it's more of an art project collage. So let me glue that down. So you can actually glue this easily with just a simple glue stick, but you need to put a lot of glue. Or if you don't want to actually put glue like this, you can actually buy the Elmer's glue, you know, the liquid one. I think it may work, but I don't know. I'll let you guys experience. And tell me in the comments if you actually tried with Elmer's glue, you know, the liquid one, and let me know if you actually tried it with a piece like that. I actually have the Elmer's glue but liquid, but I'll try to do different things. And I don't know if you guys actually see, probably don't see, but all of these projects have textures. The projects I'm gluing by right now, they're all textured. If you could touch it in real life, there are some textures on it, all of those. And it's what I love about these. They're textured and they have interesting details on there. So also this project, what I'm doing right now, I may put some tape on this side because it's on the side with rare beads, and it may have difficulties to be glued down because of the beads. So I may try to put some tape. No shame in tape. If it works, use it. Okay. So now next project to glue down is this one. It's a CD, and it's again in high school, and it's one of my best projects too. With the city, the water, it's a pretty good project. Even though it isn't professionally made, I read of it, and I'm going to glue that down too. And again, you can use normal Elmer's glue, the glue sticks to actually do it. But you need to put a lot, just like I'm doing, to make sure it's glued. But if it's not really glued, you could try put some tape, because tape on paper actually works. So it may work. At the end, I'll put some tape on the back and will stay. You'll be sure to not come off since it's on paper. I think that's enough glue. Let's try putting it now. So I don't care how it's placed, because it's a art project collage. So the way you put it is the way you want, and the way you feel like it. It's like I'm doing that right now. Also, I'm pressing on it to make sure it's glued. When you pressure on it, it actually helps get glued on there. But if it's really not glued and you have difficulty to do it, just put some tape in the back. No shame in that. Lift up test. Should have done that with 2 overs, but if I hold, it doesn't fall off, but you can see that some of the parts are coming off. So I'll need to put some tape. Only 2. But that doesn't really matter now. Okay, so now I'll reach for the tape. Just coming back. Took a bit of time to search for the tape, but I have it. Scotch from, in Canada it's Dollarama. First piece of tape. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it fell on the floor. Anyway, take 2. always put it in a loop, just like that. I see it. So I haven't recorded the fact that I actually put some tape into this because it actually is simple to do. So now it is all taped. It won't come off now. So pretty good thing. There's no shame in tape. So now the next step will be to paint this beautiful rose. You guys actually see that? It's a beautiful rose. Maybe if you come close up. It's a beautiful rose, and I don't know if I already said it, but I'm going to paint that rose into a pretty cool color. It will be kind of red and have some pretty cool shadows. So it'll be the last step. So now I'm going to clean up a little bit my space so it will be good for painting time. Yes, you even see the process of me clean up. Pretty good, huh? It's a little bit hard to put another pencil case in a pencil case. Yes, I'm doing that. No shame in that too. To save some space. But it's kind of hard to do it. You know, popsicle sticks. And this too. Look. I have these too. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but it's a pretty good use. You could put this on a little bit on here. Potential idea of somehow to do. Okay, so now it's time for the process of painting this rose. As you can see, I mixed red with white as the first coat. It will be this red because the red, this one over here, it's very, very dark. And I don't want a very dark red. I want a more pale red. So let's begin. And now you say, why not markers to do on this? Or why not put this in red? Because those sheets were the materials I had in class. And all those classes. So and I'm also using this big old brush to actually go faster. Oh, this is satisfying. See the paint. I haven't painted in a while. That feels great. The last time I actually painted is when I did the mural project that is actually on the channel right now. The last time I ever painted was on this project. So I'm very glad to actually paint today. Again. But not for Halloween, but for something else. Which is this project. I really love this process. It takes a lot of time, but it's worth the effort. Also, this paintbrush is actually good to actually paint on a wall, but I'm using it for something else. And you see, it's actually very faster, so imagine if it was a normal brush. It will take a lot more time. And at the end, when I'll do all of this painting and stuff, I'll put some markers on that. So it will be a mixture of paint and markers. Markers will be for more minimal details. That won't do with paint. But right now I'm just doing the first coat in this pale red. And it's actually the first time that you guys actually see me doing this live. Also, this video is not professionally made. It's just done for fun, and I don't care about professional editing on these type of videos. I just care about, you know, the fun process and all. Also, I don't have water near me. Because since it's just a coat like this without any, you know, degrading stuff, I won't put water in there. Because it's just with one color that I'm doing all of this. Don't know about you guys. I'm gonna switch things up. This paintbrush. It actually goes better. Also, it goes into the crevices, so I'm happy with that. And you see what I mean by actually putting markers? It's because of the white spots. So with the markers, I'm going to put some there. Or maybe just doing with pastels. It might work too with pastels. Instead of doing markers. It may work great. That's why it's pretty normal for first coat to see some whites. Just saying. That's why I'm doing coats. Because there's no way it's not opaque. And you guys actually see that it's not opaque. So just going to turn this thing around. So it's easier for the process of spinning around. Also, I'm not gonna do the back since you guys won't going to see it on this thing, so I'm not gonna do the back, but probably a little bit of the back. But not the whole back. Man. It's not a fast process. Nope, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So now I'm going to put more paint. going to make that mixture again. Even it's not exactly just like the pale red, doesn't really matter because I have something in mind. What I have in mind is to kind of make mixtures close to the color that I actually have. But if it's a little bit darker or a little bit lighter than the color that I actually use, it doesn't really matter because there's going to be nuances anyways in some of the colors on this, so it doesn't really matter. But for our first coat, we need it to be almost perfect. Because you can do 100%. As you can see, this color is actually easy to do. You know, I could have just put, the normal red, but you know me. I don't like it when it's, just simple. I want to have little challenges with the stuff I make. Oh. So I make sure that the paint is really spreaded because I don't want it to have like big old textures where it takes a lot more time to dry because it's not spread enough. I don't want that. I just want to have fun. Those white spots are very difficult to reach. But don't worry guys, it's all part of the process. Don't worry about those white spots. I just, go with the flow. At the same time, I just want to say that I'm very happy to do this Heat of a Creativity project because I actually explore some new types of videos, and actually trying new things is actually one of the things that I actually want to do most. And when you try new things, it gives you more ideas of projects and videos in the future, so that's the plus. If I like the type of video that I'm actually doing now, then I'll do more in the future, which I'll definitely gonna do more of these crafts because it's what I like to do most. Also, the part where I say pastels is more going to be on the part that actually is less easier with paint to actually reach. It's like those white parts under and all of that. And also to make different textures on that without the paint. So yeah, when you mix different materials into one little thing like that, it's actually pretty good. It makes the art look rich, in my opinion, when there's different types of materials into one. Make different textures, make different effects, and really, really add some details into there without doing too much, Also, this rose is very beautiful in that color. Really beautiful. Also, I'm using my paint while I'm doing that, so it's actually great. It doesn't run around for nothing. Actually use what I have. And makes a pretty good result. When someone will ask me, what did you do to make this rose? Well, it's out of blue sheets. that you actually write on it and it's cool. And it's done with pastels painted on. You know, if somebody will ask me. And I'll be very proud to say that it's out of sheets because it doesn't really don't actually notice once it's all painted that it's done with sheets. You know. People will think they would just be out, of cardboard or something, but no, it's just loose sheets. It's the effect of cardboard, but it's actually loose sheets. Which I love to make it. Alright. Now it will be the time to do the pastel part. It's fully dried. Also, it dried pretty fast. So if you guys want to do a project just like I did, it actually dries pretty fast. So I didn't have to wait 1 hour so that I could fully dry it. Also, what I also did to wait until it was fully dry was to do a bit of cleanup in my files in my phone. So it kind of helped. So now I'm going to choose my colors. I kind of thought, just like I said, doing pink. I'm going to try it out. If it doesn't work, I'll try to put a white at first and then put a pink on top so that it will be noticeable. So let's try this now. It is noticeable. Which is the thing I hoped to happen. Also, the great thing about pastel is that you can control the amount that you actually want. So that's actually nice. Also, I want to show you a technique I actually know of a paintbrush. You can do. It works when there's a lot of amount, like this, a little bit, and it works great. It kind of does like in stump style, kind of smoky, and I really like it. It kind of erases the strikes of this, so now it looks distressed, which I like. Now it's looking pretty cool. Try it out. Also, you can also do this. Don't know if it really worked. Let's try it out. Yeah, it doesn't really work, but it works when there's a lot of mount. So try to do that. I'm also gonna try with white now. Do a little bit of lining. Pretty good. Can I see the effect I want now? Kind of makes it look distressed, which what I wanted the most. Now I'm gonna try do some darkening on this. Actually doing this a little bit, And with the paintbrush, I could reach the little parts that I actually can of the pastel. Which is a pretty good thing to know. Look. And so why it works with the paintbrush is because when you actually put the pressure on that, it actually installs, which is why it works with paintbrushes. It's also a very fast process. So if this reminds you of the blacky, rosy, greeny pattern that I actually did, well, it's because it's the same technique that I did on that as well. You see what I mean? Pastels do this. Pastels do this. It's pretty cool. Very pretty. It does things that paint doesn't do. So, a little bit black. Because I kind of want it to look dark as well. So let's try it. Oh yeah, I like this as well. A little bit of black, not too much. Just to have this fun effect on top, like a smoky effect, which I love. Look at that! I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Also, just doing strokes, just like that. Anyway, this works. Now let's try it on another part of this. I'm actually doing this on every petal. Anyways, Prill tape. Now it's time to put some on there. Okay. So at first, yeah, it really didn't work. So I'll need to put some in the back of this flower. I knew it wouldn't work, but I tried to see if it would work from glue. Never know. Never know what can work. But in this case, tape it is. Also, I don't want to put tape all over this thing because there are some parts of the rose that you actually see that it actually comes out of the background. So just want to put it in various places to make sure it is stable. We don't want this to come out. So a lot of tape helps. I have no shame in that. So I could just use hot glue because I have some, but I'm too lazy to put some hot glue. So we're gonna go with tape. But for the castle project that I've been talking about for Halloween, I'm definitely gonna use the proper tools to do it. The hot glue. You know, all I'm doing is saving some materials for that project. So I'm working with what I can by right now. In the most cheap and most non-professional way as possible, but I have no shame in it. You do what I gotta do. With the things you have. Here we go. Lots of tape. Make sure it's very stable. Now let's glue it in place. And with scissors, I'm going to press again. And it should be stable now. It should be. It better stay. Okay, let's see now. Let's see now. Lift test. If it's a little bit bendy, doesn't really matter. Looks good. Okay, so this is the end of the project. I've done it. I put it on the door. I did it. I succeeded. Also, I actually put a huge amount of tape on the back to make sure it will stay. And it better stay. So, yeah. This is the project, and I hope that you guys actually liked this fun creation that I did. I wasn't supposed to do that project well on the channel with the heat of creativity, but you know, when you want to do a bonus content thing, you do it. And I want what I want to do in this channel, so yeah. This is my passion for art, and those are my past projects. I actually promised to actually make you see it more closely. This is those are older projects that I did back when I started high school. This one is a project from someone else, and the one behind it is also one done by me. This one isn't done by me. It ain't done by me. It is somebody else's work. I decided to put it on mine to actually make it better, and also to have a proper use of that thing. You know. And also, this is the rose I've been telling you guys about. And I know it looks pretty cool. I make a closer look so that you guys can see the full details that I've told you about. You less see it now because of the pastels that I actually put on there, but it's there. You actually see it a little bit when I close it up. And I really love what I did with the rose. It's one of my favorite parts of this project. Those are more older projects, and now I've actually put them into a pretty good use. I put them into a bigger project and say it's done. It was supposed to be something else. And I think you guys already guessed it. It was supposed to be something else. But, yeah. I decided to make this thing happen. Whoa. Things happened. So, all of that said, I hope that you guys liked this video. And if you did, subscribe to Let's Hunt the Road to see more videos. Comment down below about what you think of this project. Share this video with anyone you want them to get inspired by something of mine. And smash the like button if you did like this video, so I know what you like. And all of that said, see you all to our next video. Bye guys, and stay creative in the summer.